Doug Upstone from sports-watch.com. Doug, thanks for being here.
Hey, Peter, it is great to be here today.
Yes, it is. All right, the game you chose in the NFL you want to talk about, interesting game in line to me, Cowboys at Falcons. The Falcons are only a 4-point home favorite. Now, last week, I love the Falcons off a bye. The Falcons, of course, are 7-0. They're undefeated. They're also 5-2 against the spread. And I'm definitely sitting there waiting and watching for a letdown spot by the Falcons. I didn't think it was last week at all. And I don't think it's this week either. The Cowboys, they're very, very inconsistent, unreliable team. And actually on YouTube, we're talking back and forth with some of the people who post there. And our nickname for Tony Romo is the ultimate choker. So now we're going to refer to him as UC Romo or UC Homo. UC stands for ultimate choker. I love the Giants against the Cowboys last week for exactly those reasons. And now, the Cowboys are going, the Falcons improved their run defense significantly last week. Again, I'm looking for a spot to bet against the Falcons for a letdown spot, but I definitely don't think that this is the spot. And the line of -4 is one of those lines that looks good, then it looks very good, and now I'm starting to think maybe it's a little bit too good to be true. What do you like here, Doug?
Well, you mentioned -4, and a lot of sports books actually open that game at -5. So it's actually come down.
Right.
Now, Dallas, as you mentioned, they've adapted the old adage: we have met the enemy. It is us.
Yes, right.
The Cowboys, last week, they were within a fingernail of beating the Giants. But when you commit 6 turnovers, you really don't deserve to win. Now, Dallas has 19 turnovers this season. They're -11 in turnover ratio. As you mentioned, quarterback Tony Romo, he has a league high 13 interceptions. And other than Jason Witten, the Cowboys wide receivers need to start using that new Apple mobile app for better directions where they're supposed to end up at their pass routes. Now, the one saving grace for this, in terms of steadiness for Jerry Jones's club, is the defense, which ranks 4th overall, and even more importantly for this contest, is 3rd against the pass. Now, Peter, you were one of the few, at least that I saw or heard, that was actually on Atlanta last week, because Philadelphia was a very popular play, and Atlanta went out and punished them for all 4 quarters for the easy victory. Now, I'd give the Atlanta front office their due. They have transitioned away from a power running team into a dynamic passing team, stuffed with options for Matt Ryan's multi-faceted abilities. Now, Michael Turner is still effective as a runner, but lacks the previous burst from before, which is part of the transition. Now, the Falcons might be 7-0, yet they lack the invincibility of other teams that have gone far into the season, and in part because their defense is an underwhelming 20th at the halfway point of the season. Now, after losing last week's pick here on the SBR videos, last night I slept at a Holiday Inn, and I want to share this with what I discovered today. Okay. Here's a number that's very important to think about: +3.5. Because the Cowboys are such a public team, they seldom get breaks from the odds makers. However, since 2009, Dallas is 5-1 against the spread when catching 3.5 or more points, with 5 outright upsets. Coincidentally, the Falcons are a bizarre 0-10 at home off consecutive wins versus an opponent with an under 500 record. Though we've lost a little line value on this game, I'm backing the boys to cover, and I might play them on the money line later this week for the outright upset.
Wow. Shocking news on this SBR preview video. Doug Upstone, you're taking the Cowboys +4 at the. I cannot endorse it. I cannot endorse a play on UC Homo +4 against. I mean, he's very, very turnover prone, and in general in the NFL, we know that turnovers tend to even out. But I think in his case, they might not even out. I think that's a little bit predictive. I think the Atlanta run defense really stepped up last game, and they're going to continue to play well here. We'll see. Me against Doug Upstone. We'll see who's right.
Another thing, the Atlanta run defense. Yes, it's better, okay, but that's better for one game. And the other thing, too, right now, the way Dallas is running the ball, that's going to be a non-factor in this game. I mean, it's going to be about Romo and getting the job done. And
right,
Dallas
exactly.
On the road, as I said, catching points. Watch out.
All right. You just said it. It's going to be about Romo and getting the job done, and that is exactly my analysis of the game as well. It's going to be on Romo getting the job done.
Different points
He's not
too,
going to
right?
do it. Atlanta's going to cover easily. All right, we will see how it turns out, Doug Upstone. Great preview anyway.